really July, especially sports radio, it's really the only time that we can take vacations. So everybody kind of does it all at once, and everybody that's left back fills in the spot. So, we got Nick doing Next Man Up. You're, doing Chasing Big Joe. Connor's, working 28 hours a day. I mean, this is what we're doing. This is just how it works. But we get by and we have fun, and the show goes on.
When there used to be overnight producers, I recall there were a few mornings where it would be midnight to 6 a.m. and then maybe go into the 9 a.m. slot. So it works. It's just all part of the group here.
Yep. So we're going to have a lot of Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix flavor today with that race coming up this weekend. Just found out Marcus Armstrong, who's one of the drivers you will see, will join us at 12:30. Chris Sanders, Forever Titans wide receiver, at 1. He's not racing. He probably would. Be kind of fun. And Fischgrund with the Grand Prix at 1:30, and then we're working on one more thing with that could happen between now and the end of the show. But it is Friday. We made it to Friday, and the Preds making a little bit of news just a few minutes ago, and have made some. I guess it was about an hour ago or something like that. But they have hired former player Matt Culvert as the new forward development coach for the team. He is, going to assist Scott Nickel in the development of forwards that are brought in by the team. He's got, some familiarity with Chris McFarland and all of that, but he comes in and takes over that role. I believe that was Sebastian Bordelot, the former Predator, that was in that role. But obviously, when you make change, change comes with it. And Chris McFarland bringing in a lot of his own people. The news also coming out just a few minutes ago that longtime assistant general manager who has, kind of been in charge of the draft and scouting, Jeff Kelty, will leave the team and become the assistant general manager of the San Jose Sharks. So congratulations to Jeff on that as he continues his career. But, the Sharks announcing that he's going to work very closely with their GM, Mike Greer, and all aspects of hockey ops. And, Jeff's been with the Predators for 21 seasons, so a very long time, has literally grown up with the team. But Jeff's a great guy, too. So congratulations to him as he moves on to San Jose. But, again, times they are changing. That's just kind of what happens. And Chris McFarland has definitely put his stamp on his staff, as he should, bringing in Rob Blake, who's his executive vice president of hockey ops. He's also, brought in some others that'll help in hockey ops. Scott Nickel's still here. Jamie Langenberner is a part of that. So that's how it goes. But I think it's exciting to watch the organization move forward.
Yeah, and I mean, some may be caught off guard, but I mean, good for a guy like Jeff Kelty, who, again, has a prolific career with the Nashville Predators, goes to San Jose with a few familiar names in the Preds from the Preds organization: Yaroslav Askarov, Mikhail Granlund, Igor Afanasyev at one point. So I mean, there are a few.
He
names.
knows some people.
Yeah, and Luke Kunin in some cases. So I mean, there are a few names back in the day and also to current day that you can be familiar with and kind of hit the ground running out there.
Yeah, so it'll be good for Jeff and obviously good for the Preds as they continue to build their new staff and kind of look ahead for what's to come. So that news just coming out here on this Friday, and wanted to pass that along. I had a question. Oh, yeah, I do have a question of the day. The Titans also announced that CJ2K will officially go into the Ring of Honor. We kind of expected that would be on the horizon, and I am happy for him. And, I saw this on Twitter and kind of had to think about it, but I guess he is the first true Titan that was never an Oiler that will be a part of the Ring of Honor, because Steve, Eddie, Frank, Floyd, Jeff Fisher, they were all with the Oilers before. And so CJ is the first true Titan that spent his entire career, or was just a Titan. And then obviously went to the Jets and the Cardinals. But they'll do that at the home opener, which I think will be really cool. And CJ2K going where he belongs.
Absolutely. It's just unfortunate that, that ALS kind of takes the precedent of this, but at the same time, like we all knew that this was coming at some point.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they were planning this,
Yeah.
but obviously, yes.
And also to the conversation came up in the last hour about like guys like Taylor Lewan, when do they go in? And I said, like, I don't think they follow suit with the Nissan Stadium vibe, the current one, because that was not really, I mean, yes, it was their home where they played, but it just didn't fit the vibe. For Chris Johnson, I wouldn't say it's the house that he built, but it's the house that he stayed in for the longest time. You go to, Taylor Lewan, he just fits that new era of Titans football.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think Taylor should wait a while.
Sure.
I mean, I think there are some guys that, I mean, look, no disrespect to Chris, should probably already be in. One of them does our afternoon show, and then Keith Bullock, Javon Curse. I've said Blaine Bishop as well. I mean, so I'll be curious if they do add some more with it being the final year of the stadium. But so that leads me to our question of the day, because I thought I saw on Twitter, like, a lot of people said their first Titans jersey was Chris Johnson. That was kind of the first guy. Now, I joked with you guys on Next Men Up. Mine was Al Del Greco. So Al Del Greco and Frank Wycheck used to come into the Loveless Cafe a lot when my grandmother was the owner. And so they'd come in, on Mondays or whatever. And my grandmother, said my grandson loves football and the Titans. And so they each signed a jersey. So I still have those. So those were the first jerseys that I got. We've done this question before, but what was your first jersey? What was football, basketball, doesn't matter what sport, in honor of Chris Johnson? What was your first jersey?
If we go with Titans, obviously you have toddler jerseys of McNair, George, but as a young kid, my first jersey for the Titans was Tyrone Calico.
Oh, wow.
I had a lot of expectation going into with the Tennessee Titans, and yeah, that expectation dropped pretty quick.
First one ever was Emmitt Smith. It was Cowboys Emmitt Smith jersey. And then, as I mentioned, first Titans was, I think it was Al. It could have been Eddie. It was around the same time. But, like, there was one Christmas where I got, like, a Javon Curse, a Eddie George. Then later on, like, I got Vince Young. I got I had Steve McNair. I got a Vince Young. I got a Chris Johnson. I mean, I had them all.
Yeah, I had after
I got a Drew Bennett.
Yeah, even better. See, that right there, the deep pulls.
Oh yeah,
those are the ones I love. Especially if you go to a Titans game now and we're like the old school, like '98 jersey. I'm in for that. I think the next jersey I had after that was not Chris Johnson. It was Vince Young, then Chris Johnson. That's it. And those are the only three I've actually owned since then. I haven't bought any more. I like the old school Reeboks. They have the little like holes in them. I think that's just pretty neat. When they had the draft here in 2019, I wore my Chris Johnson jersey on Broadway. I was like, I'm repping this thing. I mean, this is Titans through and through. Kind of what you're talking about. The only Titan to be in the Ring of Honor, that is.
615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. What was your first jersey in honor of Chris Johnson going into the Titans Ring of Honor? 615-737-1025. That is our question of the day. So we'll get to some of your answers on that as we go along today. But I love it. And I do, like I said, I hope that they make announcements that, hey, we're going to put some other guys in to close this stadium, and then open the new stadium with a Ring of Honor that, like, you can look at and Titans fans can look at and be really proud, because look, a majority of the people in the Ring of Honor are Oilers. Now you have, like, I consider Steve, Eddie, Frank, Floyd, Jeff. I mean, those are Titans for sure, but they did, they were the part of the group that overlapped.
Went over, yeah.
So I would like to see, guys that were actual Titans, like Javon Curse was a Titan. Keith Bullock was a Titan. D Mace was a transition, but was mainly a Titan. So I really hope that they do that. But I think it's cool to be able to celebrate CJ2K, and talk about his career and his impact. I mean, you think about it, his first 3-4 years here, I mean, he was fantastic. At the 2,000-yard season, but I mean, he was key to that 2008 season as a rookie. I mean, all purpose, he was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid watching CJ2K on televisions on Sundays, it was program television. You had to make sure you set your bottom down to watch because yeah, you could watch NFL Red Zone, you could watch whatever because you're going to see his stats and you're going to see all those big runs. But it was must see television. Like I mean, I I don't recall a Sunday I did not sit down and watch Chris Johnson play football.
Oh
And
yeah.
that it was a childhood. Like I mean, minus Chris Johnson, you could add like a Nate Washington in there. I mean, obviously Keith Bullock, but the smash and dash, that was the best running back duo in the NFL at the time. Lindell White, Chris Johnson, everybody remembers those days.
Yeah. There's not many. I mean, so guys I think should be in that aren't. Javon Curse, Keith Bullock, Derek Mason, and Blaine Bishop.
Mhm.
From that era. I think later on, Jarrell Casey, there's probably an argument for him. Um, that really might be it.
Cortland Finnegan, Michael Griffin, Jason McCourty.
There's consideration there, but not above those guys.
Right. Oh, 100%.
Finnegan, maybe.
Yeah.
When Kevin Byard retires, yes. Derrick Henry, yes. Here's a question for everyone. Ryan Tannehill?
I would say yes.
I don't know. I kind of say yes. I mean, he's the second best quarterback to ever wear a Titans uniform. Say what you want, but he is.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting argument.
If you take out the interceptions in the AFC Championship game,
And that's
100%.
what everybody's going to focus on.
Yeah.
But, statistically, there's an argument. Same could go for – now, I don't think they will, but, Mike Vrabel, I think, is the third winningest coach in history, in Titans history.
How much of – and I hate to bring light –
and I think he's he's almost the second.
Yeah. I hate to bring light to this, but how much of the Rossini Vrabel stuff tampers that to where
Well, I think it does, but I also think the fact that the owner doesn't like him,
it's very true.
Tampers that. But
I wonder if and when this does happen, if Amy does give the team to Kenneth at some point, does that kind of null and void the Vrabel era to where they can kind of let him in at that point or no?
yeah, I mean, time heals all wounds. So I mean, look, I'm not necessarily saying he should be in.
Right.
I mean, I think there's a
good case.
There's a discussion for it, but based on that he is the third all-time winningest coach in the franchise's history, which is not saying a whole lot, but I mean, like Bum Phillips and Jeff Fisher are both in, and they should be.
Right.
So 615-737-1025. We'll continue this discussion and much more. Coming up next, Chase and Big Joe on this Friday, 1025 The Game.
Yes, we do here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game, the finer things for sure. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier back with you from the break alongside Chase McCabe and Parker Kelly behind the glass. Broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Hey, subscribe to our YouTube channel at 102.5 The Game for live shows and exclusive content. You can see our beautiful faces. Charles McCabe right there, Nick Frazier, Parker Kelly.
So I thought of another one.
Okay.
That should go in. Well, maybe not tomorrow, but like eventually. What about Ben Jones?
I'd be okay with that.
I mean, that guy changed I did a Q&A with Taylor Lewan and Will Compton at the race about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked Taylor about the O-line and stuff. And he goes, we didn't change till we got Ben Jones. Ben Jones taught us what it was like to be a top offensive line. So I don't know. I think Ben Jones.
I would say yes to that because, I mean, you go back and look at the centers throughout, the Titans' history. I mean, one that comes to mind for sure during the Chris Johnson era is Kevin Mawai. But you have Kevin Mawai that played with the Jets as well. So I would lean in your direction of Ben Jones because he spent a lot of time here in Nashville and was a staple on that offensive line. He was the true technician. I mean, the centers have to be the technician of the offensive line. They have to be.
Joe is arguing. He says no on Ben Jones.
Really? Well,
no.
I guess Joe is
not surprised.
Is Joe kind of like covered in sand? Like, is his mind all foggy? What's going on here? He's disagreeing?
Yeah, maybe.
Come on, Joe. Joel or Joe, whatever.
Joel.
Jim.
Something like that.
Jerry.
I don't know. I'm just curious. It's kind of fun to think about. And I know we've talked about it before, but I think it's kind of fun to think about okay, Chris Johnson's in. No problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be some others?
One that does come to mind as a tight end, Delaney Walker.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Like, how much do you put emphasis on Delaney Walker?
Because there's some people would argue that he's the greatest tight end, in Titans history. I still say Frank, but
yeah, I'm gonna lean that as well. I have a soft spot for Frank as a personal level because of the friendship we had. But I don't know. Frank Wycheck still is up there because he transcended that position. So that's what people forget about.
So if you look at the new era, we know Derrick Henry.
Yep.
I would assume Kevin Byard. I think Jeffrey Simmons eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So those three.
Brian Arakpo?
No. Wasn't here long enough.
Yeah.
I don't think. You're gonna have an argument maybe for Tannehill. I mentioned Jarrell Casey, Ben Jones. You brought up Griff and Cortland Finnegan, McCourty.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
What about Kevin Byard? Does he get there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I had him in the list. I think so. He should. So
some may disagree. Connor made a good one earlier. Kyle Vanden Bosch.
That's Albert.
That is true.
I mean, you can't put everybody in.
Right.
One thing I like that they have around the stadium is kind of like I think they call it like the Hall of Greats or something like that. That recognizes, those guys and like Taylor Lewan and like others that, made a really big impact. I think that those guys deserve having something like that, but maybe they're not Ring of Honor level.
They definitely deserve some form of an achievement recognition. But yeah, you make a good point there. There is a different level of accomplishment when you get into the Ring of Honor, and especially for a guy like Chris Johnson, 2,000 rushing yards, 2,500 all-purpose yards, like to be done in the same season. That's special. One of the, if not the only, running back in Titans history to do so.
We got to vote for Zach Mettenberger.
I know he does live here. He does coach at my alma mater, Father Ryan, but I don't know if he's there.
Matthew from Jolton said if you put Ben Jones in, Lewan needs to be in.
Yeah, but at a different time.
I wouldn't put him at the same time.
If you put him at the same time, that's just it's basically glorifying Ben Jones, and you make Taylor Lewan the Robin to the Batman in that situation. That's just me, though.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, like, I do think the further removed you get from some of these guys, and I'd put Taylor Lewan in this, like you look at his body of work and what he did as a left tackle, he was pretty damn good.
I mean, yeah, he was probably the prominent left tackle in recent years that actually achieved something with this franchise.
I mean, Roos, was up there.
You could include Michael Stewart with some of those good lines as well. I mean,
David Stewart.
David Stewart, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Michael looking back there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you had a time where, like, you had Brad Hopkins. I mean, he's another one. I don't think he's up there. Brad Hopkins and John Runyon, then Roos and David Stewart. You had Lewan and Conklin. I mean, you had some pretty good bookends for a while on that offensive line, and that's something that they're hoping to get back to.
And hopefully that does kick into the right gear this year with J.C. Latham and Dan Moore Jr.,
Yeah. I hope so. 615-737-1025 is the phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll have IndyCar driver Marcus Armstrong join us here in a few minutes. That he'll be racing at the Nashville Super Speedway in the Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix, which is coming up this weekend. We'll give some tickets away to that as well. We'll have a little bit of a flavor of that throughout the show. So if you haven't seen an IndyCar race and you're looking for something to do on Sunday, go check it out. Or even tomorrow, they got stuff going on. You should definitely go check it out. And the coverage of the Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at the Nashville Super Speedway is presented by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, and Big Shots in downtown Nashville. It all starts at 4 on Sunday here on 102.5 The Game. We'll talk more about that with Marcus Armstrong coming your way here in just a few minutes. It's Chase and Big Joe on this Friday, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe 1025 The Game here on this Friday. Little Alan Jackson. Nice job, Parker.
It just felt like an Alan Jackson type of mood, you know?
Yeah. You impressed me with your 90s country love.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll talk some IndyCar here in just a second with Marcus Armstrong, who's one of the drivers that you will see this weekend at the Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix. We've been telling you a lot about it. You can get your tickets. Still got some tickets available out there at the Nashville Super Speedway. Should be a fun race. I feel like the racing is always good out there. Let's say hello to Marcus Armstrong, who joins us now from Meyer Shank Racing. Marcus, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? It's good to be here.
How are you feeling about Nashville? We had Will Power with us yesterday, and I kind of made the joke to him of there's nothing to do here, but obviously that's a little bit of a joke. So you having fun so far?
Well, I haven't actually arrived yet. We're about 3 hours away, but we look forward to Nashville every year for more than one reason, of course. The nightlife, I suppose, is pretty great, but we don't get to experience that because we're true professionals, you see.
That's good. Hey, if you win though, I think you should enjoy the nightlife.
Yeah, you might see me in the team out. You never know if you keep your eyes peeled.
So how do you feel things have been going with you this year in the number 66 for Meyer Shank Racing?
This year has been okay. We've had a couple of top fives and a bit of bad luck here and there, but we're obviously back on an oval this year, this weekend. So it's nice to be back on a speedway, and this circuit in particular, Nashville, is pretty fast. I'd say it's second quickest track of the season behind the Indy Motor Speedway. So it's pretty chaotic. We don't know what this weekend will bring in terms of weather, which is not great because you want to know exactly when you're going on track and whatnot, but fingers crossed it's going to stay dry.
So you mentioned that it's such a fast track. It's not quite a mile and a half. It's just under that. What is it like from the driver's seat when and obviously the speeds that you do in an IndyCar, when you dive into turn one, trying to hold it together? Because like you said, it's pretty quick.
It's like riding a bicycle, really, just holding on. But no, it's a concrete track, pretty bumpy. You probably wouldn't see that from the TV, but it's very, very bumpy, high frequency bumps, which makes even your vision a little tough. If you're running a particular car setup or something, then it can actually be to see the track because it's so bumpy. And there's also a big bump on the last corner that, sometimes catches some people out. But, you just try and keep your eyes up because usually on a track this quick, where you would normally look, you're already past it. So you got to be on top of that before you get out there.
IndyCar driver Marcus Armstrong's on the line with us. Marcus, when it comes to the race this upcoming weekend, you mentioned being a fast race course, so forth. For you, do you enjoy those type of races?
Yeah, of course I enjoy it. It's more so relevant to how much banking there is on the track. Like it's 14 degrees of banking, which is very high for us, which kind of promotes more side-by-side action and more, close racing. So that's probably the cooler aspect. The speed itself, obviously it's fast, but you get very used to it as a driver. You don't actually think about it. I don't know exactly how fast we're going, maybe like over 200, but I don't know exactly how much. Maybe 210, maybe 220. I don't know, but it's fast, but you don't actually think about it.
Marcus, we had Will Power on yesterday, and just the aspect of simulation and trying to understand just the course you're going into this weekend, the race that is, how much emphasis do you put on just the simulation aspect of racing when it comes like the iRacing, the e-racing, and so forth?
Yeah, we use simulators back at base. We just do sort of car setup testing. So I mean, it's not something that I like to play around with. I know some guys have like simulators at home, which just small ones, but I've never really been into that so much. I usually just I do the work with the team, and they have a big simulator at the Honda factory that we use. So we'll go in there with all the engineers, and we'll do our testing, we'll do our work, and we'll get out and prepare for the race. In terms of playing around, I haven't actually. I normally just like Gran Turismo or something, something fun on the PlayStation with all my mates, a couple of sparkling waters, you know the drill.
We're talking to Marcus Armstrong from the NTT IndyCar Series. You being from New Zealand, and also Shane Van Gisbergen, who's now in NASCAR, being from New Zealand. Have you guys ever crossed paths in your careers?
Yeah, Shane and I have crossed paths before. I've watched him many times in my career. We've never raced. He's a little bit older than me, but he looks like he's, doing pretty well over here. I don't follow NASCAR as closely as I should. I'm not surprised he's smashing it because he's super talented.
Yeah, and I mean, what he does on a road course is pretty incredible. Well, you kind of just answered my next question, because I was, are there other disciplines of motorsports that you pay attention to that maybe you can take away from that help you in your craft?
We watch a lot of Formula 2 just because I used to do that. So I like to keep up to date with what the kids are doing these days, and I like karting as well. Karting is a big go-karts. It's a big sport. I mean, it's a big sport here in America, but it's very big in Europe. So I like to follow that. That's where the next days and but IndyCar racing, that's where it's at. Anyone listening, there's nothing better.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you've never been to an IndyCar race and you're going this weekend, you guys and girls put. So I think people are really going to enjoy it.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I'll be sure to pass that on.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck on this weekend and on Sunday.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. Marcus Armstrong is going to be in the NTT IndyCar Series in the Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix at the Nashville Super Speedway this weekend. He drives the number 66 Honda for Meyer Shank Racing, and a young up-and-coming driver. I love talking to. We had Will yesterday from Australia and the some New Zealanders. I mean, the accent's awesome.
It really is. He mentioned F2 there. I'm intrigued to see what the tire distribution is for them, because I know in IndyCar it's a different type of tire, correct?
Yeah.
So obviously it's a different time length of a race as well. I know with F2, the F1s, they have a different type of pitting situation. So I just think that's kind of interesting.
We will talk to Scott Borchetta coming up at 2:00 today, later in the show. So that was the other one we were working on, of course, from Big Machine, and a racer in his own right. He's in the Nashville Fairgrounds Hall of Fame. So always enjoy our chats with Scott. So he'll join us at 2:00 to talk about this weekend, and who knows what else we'll get into. So it'll be a lot of fun. But like I said, if it's July, obviously a lot of people are going to be watching the World Cup, which they are going to have watch parties out there before the race. It's going to be under the lights a little bit. I know it might be hot, but if you've never been, go check it out. Tickets are very affordable. MusicCityGP.com. I'm obviously a racing guy, so I'm gonna speak for it, but it's fun. And I mean, watching them out here with the street course a few years ago was fun. They might go back to that at some point. I don't know. But, we got a texter. Gunner asked me, do you think NASCAR would ever race downtown like they have in Chicago? And I mean, I'm not going to say no, but I think from the NASCAR point of view, they've done really well at the Super Speedway. They have sold out, I think, 5 of the 6 that they've had since the Cup Series. The racing's good. There's also the fairgrounds that everybody would like to see them go back to at some point. So I think they have to consider that. Doing a street course in a city is insanely expensive, because you have to bring in one, you have to make the streets viable for a race car. So you're fixing potholes, manhole covers, you're welding those shut, and then you have to unweld them so they don't pop up. And there's because that happened. I think it was in Vegas or St. Pete or they didn't do that, and it popped up and wrecked a race car.
Wow.
So I mean, there's those things you have to do. You have to put up the catch fences. You're shutting down streets, so there's a cost there. They do it, and they obviously will put on some good shows. I mean, they're talking about going back to Chicago again, but there is a huge cost with it. So, does the cost of it warrant doing it? Are you going to make that money back? Like, those are things you have to look at. They've done San Diego on the naval base, which was really cool. I think that could be a one and done thing because, I mean, again, you're on an active military installation, which is not easy to pull off. If IndyCar were to say, hey, we're going to do the street course again, and NASCAR's like, why don't we, make this a doubleheader weekend or something, they could consider that. But my guess is with the tracks that they have available to them here, probably not.
I mean, I could see after the 2030 Super Bowl here in Nashville, whatever, financial compensation is brought from that, I could see something coming from it. Like
Potentially,
racing.
what I think would make a really cool street course is, once the new stadium's complete, the old one's gone, you have like some area over there. You do like you did before, start over there, have the garage area over there in a parking lot or whatever, come across the bridge, come across Korean Vets, and then turn down either Second or Third, come up Broadway, and then come back around, go down Korean Vets, and then go back across the bridge.
That'd be perfect.
I think that would look so cool. But Korean Vets would be tough because you got a median. I mean, there's things you have to, and you're affecting businesses because you're closing those streets down. So I mean, again, there is a lot that goes into it.
That'd be a little pretty penny paid to them for the loss of compensation.
Yeah. Ron in Winchester. When does Joe Dubin come back? I miss celebrity birthdays. He's back Monday. So the whole gang will be back together again
Thursday,
Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah. Because I have manager stuff next week, and we're almost there.
We're offloading, or I guess setting back your seminar you had at the Omni. This was supposed to be yesterday.
Yes.
We're gonna do that, I think 2-3 weeks down the line.
Yeah,
so if you're signed up for it, don't worry about it. It's coming. Don't worry.
We'll have more fun coming up next. Get back to our question of the day. Chris Sanders at 1:00. Chasing Big Joe, 105 The Game.
Yeah, we're gonna boogie down to downtown coming up in the fall because Tennessee Titans, man. Boot scoot.
Are you sure we're
boogie.
going to be boot scooting and boogieing?
I think so. Yeah, play us at Nashville SC games after they win, so it's a lot of fun. It's
I actually
tonight.
didn't realize that. Have they done that for every home game?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, they
I
have.
need to pay better attention when I'm at those games.
a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Football is a lot of fun as well. That is the NFL. Our football offseason coverage on 102.5 The Game is presented by Tennessee Brewworks and Parman Tractor and Equipment. Parman Tractor and Equipment providing totally outrageous customer service. Visit parmantractor.com. As we're back here on the Chase McJoe Show, answering our question of the day, and that is Chase McCabe.
What was the first jersey you had? I feel like these breaks are short.
Yeah, they feel a little short today, like my height.
Yeah. What was the first jersey you ever had? Mine was Emmitt Smith. Yours was
Tyrone Calico.
That's kind of funny.
Away jersey, by the way, uncommon. So it was odd when I was at Academy Sports back then. When Academy Sports was the fun place to go shop,
Yeah.
you know? Still is. Don't get me wrong, but I remember my mom was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I was like, "A Titans jersey would be pretty cool." And this one, Tyrone Calico was like at his peak for hype, you know. And they had it like as the front jersey when you walk in. I was like, "That's a cool jersey." Thought it was Kevin Dyson jersey originally, but it wasn't. And then got an '87 jersey on my birthday. And it was Calico. I was like, "This is cool." And then he got hurt.
He's one of those guys that like he should have been better and obviously got hurt.
Yeah.
Just tough one.
And you know what? I mean, regardless, I think I recovered getting a CJ2K jersey as the 28, the Navy one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Then a Bobo Vieri.
Talk for a second.
Yeah,
while I
go
fix
ahead.
this.
Yeah, please go ahead. No, but the other jersey I got was a hand-me-down Bobo Vieri, and people are probably thinking, who the heck is Bobo? You throwing at Bobo? No, I'm not throwing at Bobo. It's Christian Vieri. They just call him Bobo because in Europe there's a thing, it's like bomber, and it's like a slang word, a really good striker, like a cool guy. And so I was like, that's pretty cool. Christian Vieri. So I got the 1998 World Cup jersey. I think it was like a $5 jersey off the street, and somebody got it. I think it originally was my brother's, and then, like I said, a hand-me-down to me. So, but cool jerseys, really cool jerseys.
615-737-1025. Carl Pickens. I guess jokingly saying put Carl Pickens in the Ring of Honor. Yeah, Chris Sanders wouldn't sign off on that.
Or Yancey Thigpen.
0789 said Albert Pujols was my first jersey.
That I'm still searching for. I want the Saturday cream jersey that has like the St. Louis and that nice, cursive with a nice big old 5 on the back. It's hard to find, man.
83 or Devin and Dixon says my first football jersey was a Daryl Moose Johnston Cowboys jersey. First hockey jersey was Mike Dunham for the Preds. It's a good one.
Mike Dunham.
4822 says my German Shepherd had a Bullock jersey.
Hey,
that's cool.
Mr. Monday Night.
Yeah.
That's the big issue with me when I get jerseys. Like if I go and get a player on the back of the jersey, they always end up getting traded, retire, or they just go to another team through free agency. I'm like, what are we doing? What am I doing? Bad selection.
Joey from Bellevue says Nick Vieri played for, is it Juve?
Oh, Juventus. Yeah,
Juventus.
Juve. Yeah.
Juve.
Yeah, Juve. He played for, I think, the trifecta. He played for Juve, AC Milan, Inter Milan, I believe Fiorentina a little bit. But no, he's now a soccer analyst in Miami. He was on BN Sport for the longest time. It was a part of the whole Serie A coverage. Now I think he's just an independent contractor, but really good analyst.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, I've learned a lot watching the last few weeks. Who you got in the championship game?
I think Spain. Spain's
España.
They're just technically sound. I love the way they pass the ball through the midfield. Yamin Yamal is obviously the big name on that team, but don't forget about Rodri. Don't forget about a few other guys on that team that always Pedro's another good player, but Yamin Yamal, if they can somehow figure out a way to get him open in the attacking third, and they're talking about it right now on TV. He's not training. He has a bandage on his left thigh, probably just for precautionary purposes. But if that is the case, then advantage to Argentina.
Going to be interesting to watch it on Sunday. Starts at what, noon? 1?
Well, the coverage is at noon, but I think the game starts at 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be listening to it on my way to Evansville for the manager meetings.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy the Evansville manager meetings.
Oh, I will. It'll be fun.
Is that the one stoplight town or 2 stoplight town?
There's a couple.
Okay.
There's a couple. We know somebody. There is a Nashville media member that calls Evansville home. So,
Oh, okay.
old Andrew.
Yes.
So
Love
he's from
that.
there. Yeah. So looking forward to that. Berchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix Media Day going on downtown right now. Again, we'll have more flavor with Ann Fischgrund from the Grand Prix, and then Scott Borchetta of Big Machine, who has his name on the Music City Grand Prix, a racer in his own right. He'll join us at 2:00. So looking forward to that. Have you finished up quarterback?
I
have not.
going on episode 3. So I finished
Okay.
1 and 2. I mean, when I get tired, I just fall asleep to the TV on. I'm like an old man. I can't help it. And I wake up and it says, "Are you still watching?" And it's like 2 in the morning. I'm like, I am done watching. I probably should turn the TV off.
Have you finished it, Parker?
I fell asleep last night at the start of episode 7.
Okay.
So I am like
listen.
Nick. Like I put a blanket on and I was out.
7
So-
episodes?
Do you feel like you've learned anything about Cam Ward that you didn't already know?
No,
Okay.
not really. I mean, I just love his personality, but
Yeah.
I already knew that
Yeah.
because I mean, he was very honest, authentic at press conferences. So it was
Yeah.
basically the same person.
Do you think, because my buddy Ricky made this comment to me of the more I watch quarterback, the more I'm rooting for this kid. And do you feel like that other people that may have either been out on him or not sure about him might watch this and go, you know what, this is a guy I want to root for?
I'm sure. I mean, because he kind of has a similar personality to Baker Mayfield. They're both just, top tier competitors. Like for Baker Mayfield, I like him a lot more after watching this series than because I used to not like him when he was at Oklahoma. Now I love the guy. I feel like he's changed a lot as a person. So absolutely, I'm sure there are people rooting for Cam Ward now that previously didn't.
Yeah. I've always liked Baker. I mean, he's a you-know-what talker but he backs it up. And I think he has found, and look, he's not the long-term solution. They're going to have to start thinking about what's next, but you kind of luck into him after Brady. And he's found a fit there with Tampa Bay. Cleveland, we know what that is. Didn't work out. Then where'd he go? Carolina. That didn't work out.
Then to LA.
Ends up with LA, which I think was a really good fit for him, down the stretch to work with McVay, and then ends up in Tampa Bay and, his kind of resurrected his career.
Yeah, looking at Baker Mayfield when it came from high school to college, and it highlighted in the Netflix docuseries that he was a big Oklahoma fan growing up. And imagine being the star quarterback of Oklahoma University as a Sooner, and you grew up a fan. I could understand why.
Didn't he grow up in Austin, Texas?
I believe so. Something along
So that's
the lines.
pretty
Yeah.
incredible to grow up in the home of UT and then pull for Oklahoma.
Yeah. So if you're a guy like Baker Mayfield and you're now the top dog at Oklahoma, I can now understand why he had the off the field issues and or the sideline issues, planting the flag at midfield, because you're on top of the world. Nobody can tell you that you've done anything wrong because you're out here producing wins for the franchise. That is, the college. I just think, I'm not giving the guy slack, but I respect him more for having that knowledge of his background and his upbringing when it comes to football.
I think him transferring out of Texas Tech and headed to Oklahoma was probably the best decision he ever made.
Yeah, and he went up to Bob Stoops. He goes, "I'm going to play football for you." He goes, I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
That's just hilarious, man.
Yep. I'm reading it in February 2014. Bob Stoops confirmed that Mayfield will be walking on for Oklahoma. He was not eligible to play until 2015 because of the transfer rules at the time. Imagine if that wasn't there.
Oh,
then
imagine that, and if he were able to get an extra year of eligibility.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a different outcome. And, that's the big issue when you look at the NFL right now is the quarterback production. Obviously, there is that, narrative of saying, well, Aaron Rodgers is on the back end. This obviously is the last year. What's going to be next for Pittsburgh? I mean, there are young quarterbacks that just need to be developed. They need to be focused on. Like there's too much in the NFL that everybody focuses on the QB1 and not QB2, QB3 to really continue the production of that position.
So I forgot all about this. When he transferred, he filed an appeal to the NCAA to allow him to be eligible to play immediately because he was a walk-on, not a scholarship player. And therefore he thought the transfer rules did not apply. The NCAA denied his appeal because he did not meet the criteria. Big 12 conference rules additionally stipulated that intra-conference transfers will lose 1 year of eligibility over and beyond the 1 year sit-out imposed by the NCAA. He attempted to appeal his initial loss of eligibility to the Big 12. It was denied. Officials from Oklahoma asked Texas Tech officials to authorize Mayfield's immediate eligibility, but Tech officials objected and declined the request before granting a release in July 2014. Therefore, he had to sit out. On June 1, 2016, the Big 12 faculty athletic representatives voted against a rule proposal that would have allowed walk-on players to transfer within the conference and not lose a year of eligibility. The next day, the rule proposal was amended to allow walk-on players without a written scholarship offer from the school they are transferring from to transfer within the conference without losing a season. They approved it. The rule change made Mayfield eligible to play for Oklahoma through the 2017 season, and Texas Tech also voted in favor of the rule. So that's the Baker Mayfield rule.
Love it.
So, which doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, because college football's in shambles.
Yeah, there you go. Coming up next, we'll talk to our man Chris Sanders, Forever Titans wide receiver, here on the Chasing Big Joe show on this Friday, 102.5 The Game.
Hour number 2 of the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier alongside Chase McCabe and Parker Kelly behind the glass. Our phone and text lines are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com as we go to them now and bring in the one and only forever Titans wide receiver, Chris Sanders. Chris, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday, so we're going to celebrate. So I'm actually in a really, really good mood. How y'all brothers doing today, man?
Oh, doing fantastic. Birthday tomorrow. So what's on the docket? Can you share?
Hey, yeah, actually, we're just going to the mall. We're going to do a little shopping. I'm just going to just sit there and be like, baby, you want that? You want that? You want that? So that's all I'm going to be doing.
So are you going to have dinner at the food court is what I'm hearing?
No. No, man, we're going to Wendy's. We get a biggie bag there. Come on, man.
Can't go wrong with a biggie bag. I mean, that's some of the best, you know.
Absolutely. So how's your week going?
Fantastic. We're ending it with you, man. That's what we're doing. We're ending the week with Chris Sanders.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate it.
Well, let's start off with the Tennessee Titans. The news came out today that the Tennessee Titans are going to honor one and only Chris Johnson for week 1 to be in the Ring of Honor, for the Titans Ring of Honor. Your initial thoughts on those words there?
I mean, it's just you recognize greatness. And I know the situation is really kind of sad what he's going through with ALS, but at the end of the day, he's always going to have a legacy. So I think that Amy Adams Strunk is doing a great job by recognizing his greatness, but also just put him in the Ring of Honor where it's due. It's been due a long time because, in my opinion, I think he's one of the great Titans to ever put a Titans uniform on. So I just think it's great by the organization. It's by recognizing that this guy's been a pillar of your organization.
Absolutely, yeah. Chris Johnson diagnosed with ALS recently, and still one of the best running backs in franchise history. 2,000 rushing yards, 2,500 all-purpose yards, all in the same season. And I agree with you, Chris. I'm glad that it's being honored in week 1, especially against a team in the New York Jets where he spent time there as well. I just think it just is a match made in heaven.
I mean, it just shows you that the organization is going to go in the right direction. They're doing things. They're getting other older players involved in the organization, but then also you're recognizing guys that's been a pillar of your organization. I mean, when you had the last guy to get 2,000 yards, you didn't have one. You had 2 guys that actually did that. So it just shows you that the Tennessee Titans organization is going in the right direction.
Yeah, and to expand on that when it comes to this team this upcoming season, obviously training camp's on the horizon. What are some of your key thoughts or key takeaways that you expect to see come training camp?
I mean, everybody knows Cam Ward. I mean, the team's going to go as far as your quarterback. And if you look at Cam Ward, everybody's talking about his progression. He's doing great things. But then you're hearing other things that, is he picking up the offense? Does he have the accuracy? Does he have all these things? Because your team is going to go as far as your quarterback plays. But then also, I want to look at some of the camp battles that we're really not talking about. Look at the receiver position. I know, Tate is coming in from The Ohio State University, but then you got Calvin Ridley. Those guys are probably solidified of being the starters. But then you got some other guys like DK, like Alec Ayoman. You got Oliver. You got other guys that are fighting for a position on this team. And then you got Restrepo that we talked about a little bit. So I want to watch the receiver position and see how it evolves. And then another guy that I really didn't talk about was Robinson that they got from the New York Giants. So how is this thing going to evolve, and who's going to be the starting receivers when day 1 comes?
We're talking to Chris Sanders. That's right. Chris Sanders. That's right. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. You guys look so similar.
Come on, Conway Twitty.
So in the break, I was telling Nick about that, how you always call me Conway Twitty, and he said, "Well, if you grew out an afro, I can kind of see it." So
I can see it, Chris.
I was going to call him Mr. Roper. Remember Mr. Roper from Three's Company?
Yeah, that works. That could work too.
I'm pretty sure he called me Justin Bieber one time. Justin Bieber, that actually makes more sense.
Chris has a laundry list of nicknames for Parker.
I know, man. I know. But, man, you're a good man. I'm just kidding with you, man.
So, Chris, have you watched the quarterback documentary on Netflix?
The funny thing about it, I watched a little bit of it, but look in the background. What school is it at? They actually did some stuff in Montgomery Bell Academy, and our head coach is in the background. But I watched a little bit. I just watched mechanics and just kind of watched what he's doing. I think just watching a little bit of what he's talking about and the stuff that he did on the field, I got a feeling that Cap's going to have a big year. I really do. He's got the pieces. He's got the receivers. He got the running back, Pollard, Chestnut, Spears, guys that we're really not talking about. So I think that with everything that's going on, I think he's going to have a sneaky year, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
So I was telling Chase that I don't feel like I learned a lot about Cam Ward because I was at his press conferences. I mean, he's pretty much the same person all the time, but just seeing a little bit more behind the scenes of his personality. Like there was that scene when he was playing dodgeball and he's like, man, I wanted to peg the you know what out of these kids, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Does that make you root harder for a guy like that?
Absolutely, but we got to understand as fans, we're, football players and basketball players and people that's in the entertainment position, we're human. We laugh, we joke, we play dodgeball, we play kickball, we play ping pong. We do those things. It's not that we're walking around 7 days a week, football, cover two, get them on the spot, lie with you. All these things that we talk about football, we're human. We play video games. We play NCAA. We play fighting games. We play all those things. So it's good to see another side of Cam Ward because we think that, I'm just a quarterback. I got to think about cover two. I got to think about all these things. But it's good to see the other side that this guy's human. He laughs. He jokes. He plays video games. He plays with kids. He has all these things that you want to see in a leader of your organization.
Absolutely. Forever Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders is on the line with this. Chris, you make a good point there because not only is he young playing video games, the rest of the position groups are kind of in the same boat with that age group. Wandale Robinson, Gunnar Helm, Carnell Tate, Tajay Spears in some cases, Alec Eilmaner, Chimdike. One name in particular out of that wide receiver group is Alec Eilmaner that I would like to emphasize with you. And I would say the consensus is that he may take a backseat role a little bit. I don't see that really happening just because of the wide receiver distribution of the ball for Cam Ward. You have Carnell Tate, Wandale. You see whatever maybe Calvin Ridley does this upcoming season. But there was a video posted, I believe, last week or maybe earlier this week of all the wide receivers and some tight ends, and one being Gunnar Helm in this case, practicing with Cam Ward in Miami at the university on their, I guess, practice fields or some forth. When it comes to a guy like Alec Eilmaner, do you potentially see him taking a back seat in this offense?
No, but see, here's what you have to understand is you have to stay ready because in 1999, I know, Chase hates for me to talk about 1999, but we had a lot of receivers. We kept 7 receivers at that time. And when your name is called and when your player is called, you have to make the play because the receiver room was so packed. Now you have a situation to where you have a ton of receivers and you feel like you're not involved. But what happens if Tate goes down? What if Ridley goes down? What if Robinson goes down? What if those starting guys go down and you get in there and you're not ready? So if I had a chance to talk to Alec Eilmaner, don't get bitter, get better. When I say get better, that means, okay, when I'm in the meeting room, I have a smile on my face. When I'm running a route, I'm going to play so well that they have to play me because that 1999 season, before that, 2 years ago, they brought Kevin Dyson in and Yancey Thigpen in. So now I'm the odd man out. But the one thing that I had in my mind is I'm not competing against them, but I'm going to play so well that I have to be on the field. So now you got Alec Eilmaner that's in the same position. I'm going to play so well that you have to play me. And that's how I would tell them how to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to that 99 season, you even had, Isaac Bird in some cases. You have Derek Mason. I mean, for you, when you, I guess, got the notion that was happening, there were more receivers into that room for you. Like you said, get better or get bitter. But, I mean, when it came into that offseason and you kind of going into training camp, was that just the same mentality you carried throughout the entire time or no?
Yeah, but see, one thing I had to make sure is I didn't get mad at the organization. I had to understand it is a business. Let me give you a perfect scenario of what I'm talking about. Derek Mason was the 6th receiver on the depth chart. Now he is, in my opinion, is one of the all-time greats. So what I'm looking at is, even though you may be 6th, 7th on the depth chart, you have to stay ready because you never know when the opportunity presents itself. So now you got Alec Eilmaner, and they're talking about everybody else. They're talking about Ridley. They're talking about Tate. They're talking about Robinson. They're talking about all these guys, and you don't feel a part of it. But the way you feel a part of it is when nobody's looking, run that sprint. When nobody's looking, run that route. When nobody's looking, stand ready. And that's what you have to do because when somebody gets hurt, you get in there. Now it's your opportunity.
So, Chris, I've been on record of saying for Carnell Tate, I expect a 1,300-yard season from him within the next, not now, but within the next 3 seasons. Would you expect 1,000 yards from Carnell Tate this year?
I mean, it could. I mean, with Dable's offense, they have a lot of RPOs, run pass option. So he's going to get the ball a lot. He's going to get a lot of opportunities to make some plays. I would say this is just a realistic, maybe between 50 and 60 balls, maybe about 950 to 1,000 yards, because at the end of the day, he's your big play wide receiver. Now, if you come out and he catches 30 balls for 400 yards, that now a lot of people are going to have a side eye like, okay, is this guy worth the fourth pick? So he comes out, be consistent, make some plays. I think it's going to take the ease off your quarterback.
So when I've been out there, lots of option routes in this Dable offense. It's lots of,
Right.
5 to 7 yards, forces Cam to get the ball out of his hands quickly, which would be great for him considering we don't think this offensive line, or at least I don't think this offensive line is going to be great this year. But my mind immediately goes to, okay, what happens when you have to do play action? What happens when you have to take deep shots down the field? And even running the football can be hard if you don't have a good offensive line. So what do you make of the fact that we know what Peter Skoronski is, we just don't know what the rest of the pieces are going to be?
But see, the thing about it is we talk about this every year is they have to have some depth, because if you look at last year and the years before, we have some of the top guys get hurt like Cushenberry and different guys that get hurt. But then the guys behind them, you have no idea. You don't even know their name. You don't even know what school they come from. You don't want that to happen this year, because if some of those guys go down that are starting and these guys are not ready, or they're not prepared, or they haven't had experience, we're going to be in the same situation that we were in the last couple of years. You have to solidify, the offense line. If you look at in 1999, we had Bruce Matthews, we had Brad Hopkins, we had Benji Olsen. Those guys played together for so many years. And I think the Tennessee Titans now to get some guys that need to play together and have experience and all have the same eyes. And that's what you need with your offensive line.
I don't know if you feel the same way that I do, but for J.C. Latham, you consider that he played left tackle his rookie year, then he flipped back to his natural position, right tackle. But now as he's entering year 3, it feels like, okay, this is the prove-it year for J.C. Latham. And I almost feel bad for him in a way because the process for him has been so expedited, but at the same time, it's the way that it has to be.
But see, here's the disappointing part right now is now he's probably going to come into camp hurt. So now you're coming into camp hurt and you're behind the 8 ball. You haven't really proven yourself. You had some splash plays, but we need you to be consistent. So if you're coming into camp and haven't went through OTAs and coming in hobbling into camp, then you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball, because this year right now is a make it break it year. If you go out and have a phenomenal year, it's not just about the payday. Yes, you're going to have a good payday, but you're going to solidify the left tackle position. So I think this is a big year for him. He has to come in camp ready, shake the injury bug and come in here and be the pillar of this offense.
Forever Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders, man, we appreciate your time as always on a Friday. So you got the birthday this weekend. Yes. You're going to spend the birthday dinner at the food court, and then what? Then you just going out and probably watching a movie? Is that what I'm getting at?
No, I'm going to get a kiss.
Oh, but it's not your birthday though.
I know, so I get to give a kiss.
There you go.
Hey, let me tell you something. When you talk about my wife's birthday, even though I'm giving her a gift, she's one of the best gifts that's ever been given to me. So I'm so thankful to celebrate her.
Well, we'll make sure you were so romantic, Carl Weathers.
We'll make sure to clip this and send it to you for the birthday gift. How about that?
Oh, I appreciate you, man. I love y'all so much. Y'all have a great one, my friend.
We appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
All right, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Forever Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders taking wonderful time on his beautiful Friday before he celebrates his wife's wonderful birthday. And we can't thank him enough as always. But we'll get into more of that, just more of react to Chris's comments on the other side right here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5 The Game.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Friday. Appreciate Chris Sanders for joining us. Sorry I had to miss that. You know, we're still, you know, we've talked about the lightning strike.
Yes.
We're still working through some things, so making it all better. By the way, I can totally see Parker Kelly doing a little karaoke on a Friday night and singing some Billy Currington.
Hey, Chase, I'm a big karaoke guy. I don't know if you know this about me.
I
but
believe
I'm a big
it. I am
karaoke
too.
guy.
I am too. So I'm impressed.
Maybe we could all three do it.
We should do that. I'd be down.
Yeah, little duet or whatever you call. What would you call three people karaoke together?
A trio.
A trio.
Yeah, trio.
Yeah. Quartet. That's a little bit bigger.
That's 4.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Basic math.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Second grade's all I got to.
Yeah, no, okay. Who we got on? Is this who I think it is on the line? Is this
Take a wild guess.
Is this the donut man himself?
It is.
All right. Hello, Clay. What's going on?
Welcome back to the airwaves, Mr. McCabe.
Thank you very much, sir.
When is it going to be back to the normal twosome? Not that this still is a good show, but you and Joe hadn't been hooked up in a while.
Yeah, next Thursday, we'll get everybody back together because he'll be back Monday, but I'm on manager stuff. So next Thursday at the Omni will be the normal show again.
Be waiting for me next Thursday.
Okay. All right.
Now, I wanted to comment on the Chris Johnson thing, and I guess I've got to give Amy props maybe for a chance, but this is the right thing to do. I was hoping this is what they would do. I'm going to try to get a ticket to that game because I want to be there to see this. I
Me
just
too.
hope, he makes it to, be there to be honored because this is a guy that's one of the greatest Titans ever. I don't think since he played, he probably really has kind of faded in the background, really hadn't been brought up this much. But this guy had electric speed, and ALS is a horrible disease. I've been praying for him and his family. I hope the guy's okay, and I hope he's there to be honored as he should be.
Well said, Clay. Appreciate the call as always, my friend.
See ya.
See ya. I agree. And I mean, all I know is based on what I saw with that interview a few weeks ago. And, but I know that it was brought up in that interview that if he didn't do some of these, experimental treatment, he may not be here. I mean, he had a really aggressive case of ALS. So I'm with Clay on that I want him to be able to enjoy that moment with his family. And so I pray that he does.
And also, too, it just goes to show you that how medicine is evolving rapidly. Like even with these test trials for Chris Johnson, the fact that, he's still around, which is a beautiful thing. It just, we all hope that there is some form of a cure for ALS because it's a brutal, brutal disease.
Yeah, it is. So well said by Clay. And again, Chris Johnson going to the Ring of Honor in the home opener against the Jets where, two teams he played for, and hopefully the Titans can get the victory. It was funny. I was talking to Ian earlier. I do not want to have a Monday. That's what, September 13th. So on September 14th, I don't want to have that Monday where I, am saying, man, they lost again. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about a win.
Well, if they end up winning, it'd break the 5-year streak, correct? They've lost 5 straight home games, 5 straight openers.
Yeah, I think that is right.
So if they can break that, that'd be a step in the right direction. It's all baby steps. You got to find the positive in each little glass of water, I guess the best way to put it.
Yeah. So man. I mean, if they lose to the Jets, it's going to the sky is going to be falling.
I don't think they will, though.
I don't think they will either. I mean, Robert Saleh's got something extra, even though he's not going to say he does. He does. You got, was it Jermaine Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got Tavondre Sweat coming to town. I mean, you're going to have, there are storylines aplenty other than it being the first game of the year.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a big old battle. And I believe the Jets are, still dealing with that quarterback situation. If it's Geno Smith, it's going to be Cade Klubnik. Obviously, it's going to be Geno, but I know he had some off-the-field issues before, a couple weeks and months ago. So if they get that sorted out, I feel like it'll be a fun one to watch for sure.
Yeah, I think so. So, Obviously we're gonna have plenty of time to break that down with training camp just a few weeks away and all of that. But it's gonna be here before you know it. It is I mean, it's hard to believe like next week's SEC Media Days, which is kind of that unofficial kickoff to the season down in Tampa. All of our coverage is presented by Shane Company, Tri-State Water, Power, and Air, and the Music City kickoff game featuring Ole Miss taking on Louisville September 6th at Nissan Stadium. Get your tickets today at NashvilleSports.com. And Shane Co. hand-set engagement rings carefully crafted to last a lifetime. So appreciate them for being on board with that and our coverage of SEC Media Day. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. I told you we were going to have a Grand Prix flavor. And Fischgrund from the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix will join us coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe on a Friday, 102.5 The Game. Always a great song. I've always thought that like if you had like a band playing at a wedding or a party or something, you like open with this song and have like a light show and then have the guitar come down from the ceiling.
Just one light beam too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That'd be awesome. It's a great song for sure. A little money for nothing. Here on this Friday, the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix out at the Nashville Super Speedway this weekend. And you can still get tickets. Go to musiccitygp.com to get those tickets. And our friend Ann Fischgrund joins us now on the program. Ann, how you doing?
I think we're doing okay. It's race weekend.
It is here. I mean, I always say, like, whether you're ready or not, it's here. But I feel like you all are very ready for it.
We are. The facility looks great. The tickets are flying out the door. We have great entertainment, music, and soccer related lined up. And then to top it all off, the cars are here. The drivers are here. We just wrapped up some media downtown, and practice starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
So you probably know this, having done this for a while now. You know, sometimes people wait until the very last minute because they just sort of like, well, what am I doing this weekend? They need to go to the Nashville Super Speedway, musiccitygp.com. That's where they can get their tickets, right?
That is where they can get their tickets. We'll take you if you want to walk up too on Saturday or Sunday. But yes, advanced purchases is always recommended. Plenty of opportunities to come out and join us Saturday or Sunday for sure.
So you got practice and qualifying tomorrow, and then obviously the big race, the NTT IndyCar Series race on Sunday. Also have Indy Next, which, let me say this, that is a fun series to watch too, because you're seeing, as the name says, what's next in the NTT IndyCar Series.
We are so lucky to have the drivers in the Indy Next by Firestone series with us. I think you're absolutely right. You can't miss out on the future stars of the sports. And, you know, we provide the opportunity for customers, not only an autograph session every day for an hour. So Saturday, the NTT IndyCar Series will have an autograph session. And then Sunday, Indy Next will have an autograph session on Saturday. And then Sunday, the NTT IndyCar Series drivers will have an autograph session on Sunday, all in the fan zone, all for free when you have a ticket into the venue. They do that for an hour. And then in addition to all of that, both series are so customer friendly that we have the opportunity to offer customers the chance to purchase garage passes to get up close and personal. And it's a great way to see the drivers up close, see the crews working on the cars. It's just really accessible, and we want people to come out and enjoy the race, but also behind the scenes of it too, if that's of interest.
Now, one thing, Ann Fischgrund is with us from the Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix. One thing I know my man Nick Frazier here, who's co-hosting with me today, is wondering about folks that are going to go out to the race. There's the World Cup final that is going to be starting. You got them covered on that.
We do. So Sunday is going to be a really, really active day. We open our gates at 11 a.m., which is the same time the World Cup pregame show starts on Fox. So we'll have that on. We have built out this fun themed pub, interactive experience with a soccer field for people to play on, some games, soccer related games, some pubs that are now officially Spain and Argentina themed to enjoy the World Cup. So come in, enjoy soccer all day long. We will have an Indy Next race at 12 o'clock, followed by Deadmau5 performance up in our match day at the pub area. And right after the Deadmau5 performance, we will go into a World Cup watch party, the official Fox World Cup watch party. And fingers crossed, we go right to green flag after that for the NTT IndyCar Series. So it is a very active day. So whether you're a soccer fan, a music enthusiast, or a racing fan, we got something for everyone.
Wow, that is a lot. And that was going to be my question to you, Ann, is just what makes this race and weekend so special? But you've highlighted it there. I'm a soccer fan, but also Chase is the racing savant. So he's got me into racing. And I'm like, I need to see this firsthand. And it just seems like this is fantastic. Only also, too, it's the 250th year of the United States of America. So it just makes it even more special.
It is. And I don't think that there's another city that could do something like this, right? Nashville is so special for so many reasons, but to blend all three things into one to be this epic day, you're not going to want to miss it.
Absolutely. And like for a guy like me that is the, I guess, average Joe of a racing fan, what can the average Joe racing fan expect for this weekend when it comes to the racing aspect of it?
IndyCar is such a friend, like I've already said, right? A fan-friendly sport. We are very accessible. We want people to be engaged with us, but the competition is unmatched. We have seen so many passes over this past season of competition. Not the same person does not win every weekend. The finishes are tenths of a second apart. And IndyCar does for free for all their fans around the country have a free app that has all the timing and scoring and telemetry to really get into the nitty gritty if you're into the science side and the competition side of it. But in general, Nashville Superspeedway was built in a way where you can see everything. So there is no bad seat in the grandstand. So seeing that race, seeing the cars fly by, it is such a fast track. You will see fast cars, competition, and hopefully a photo finish.
And Will Power was on with us yesterday, and he said he feels like the sport is maybe at the best place that it has ever been. Since the two leagues came back together, in 2008, I think it was. But I look at IndyCar and agree with him that it's not just about one race anymore. I feel like everybody's watching week after week, and you all have to feel really good about that, knowing that you're next up.
Yes, there's a ton of momentum, and we are so lucky to have partners in Fox who, allow IndyCar to be on one platform for all 18 races, which is, in motorsports a little rare. So we're lucky that we can find that consistency for our fan and our customer. But we're also super lucky that Fox wanted to find IndyCar to be on TV after the World Cup final to allow us to have an audience that will stay tuned in, hopefully, and watch the start of that race and be a part of that afternoon with us. So having someone want us to be a part of the mix and to show off what IndyCar can really do. So whether you're in the stands or watching on TV, it's going to be a really great day. And I agree, Will Power's spot on. We've had such an amazing opportunity with Fox to continue to grow the sport, not only here in Nashville and be at the racetrack, but across the board in all of the markets that IndyCar races in.
He also recognized that his former teammate Joseph Newgarden will obviously be someone to beat. I mean, that's what's kind of cool is we got a hometown guy that's the defending race winner that'll be racing this weekend.
You do, and I will tell you, when you talk about race car drivers and the competition, it is in fact also with the strategy and dedication of these drivers. Joseph has a foot that is currently injured, and he is able to still race and still trying to push forward. He's had an amazing season despite this injury, and of course, selfishly, I would love for our hometown hero to win back-to-back years. So he grew up at this racetrack. His family will be out there on Sunday cheering him on, and I hope he can and bring it home for the community for sure.
Well, we're just gonna help him out. Alex Palou is gonna get caught in Nashville traffic, and that might help Joseph out a little bit.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, so be clear of the highways. For that Alex Palou out there. Yeah.
MusicCityGP.com. Go get your tickets, and we love working with you all and being able to talk about this race. I know Scott's going to join us here in a little bit, but it's always fun to talk to you, and I hope everything goes great this weekend.
Well, we can't wait to see everyone at the racetrack. Come watch soccer, come watch Dad Mouse, and come watch the NTT IndyCar Series. We can't wait to see everyone there.
Thanks, Ann. Appreciate it. That is Ann Fischgrund with the Barchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix. Again, tomorrow and Sunday, MusicCityGP.com is where you can get your tickets. And Alex Palou has won 4 races this year. He's the defending champion. He's trying to make it a three-peat. He has been very tough to stop. But Joseph Newgarden knows how to get around this place.
It's
as do some others.
His home grounds, man.
Yep.
I mean, like she said, he going into this track, and it's just his home field advantage in this case. So hopefully the foot doesn't play a factor. Does it play much of a factor, you think?
No, I mean, you got a NASCAR driver that's racing with a broken wrist. I mean, these guys run hurt. I mean, and there's a famous picture of Ricky Rudd who had his eyes taped open so he could race after a wreck. So, I mean, these guys and girls are tough.
I mean to make a joke out of it. He had pink eye.
No, he wrecked and he probably had a concussion and had bruising, so they had to tape his eyes open the next week so he could race.
That's brutal.
but it worked. so he was able to.
Got the
Able
job
to I
done.
don't think they'd let him do that anymore. But back in the day, they were certainly different. Scott Borchetta now scheduled to join us at 2:30. So looking forward to talking to him. Well, more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, Nick, Chase, Parker on this Friday, 102.5 The Game.
patching up the offensive line. Obviously, that didn't really pan out for them. So they always had the A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. They traded off Aaron Jones, and then you had Josh Jacobs in the situation. You kept grounding and pounding up the middle for them. And they just, I mean, they're a old school style team where they always rely on the run game. And I mean, we all know that Green Bay has had great quarterbacks, but I think it goes as a undertone to the conversation for running backs. Running backs are always a key in their offense.
615-737-1025 if you want to weigh in. Okay, so are there other quarterbacks besides those four that you think have something to prove? I think there's one here.
Yeah, for sure here. Cam Ward,
I definitely think Cam Ward.
I would say Malik Willis with signing that big money. That is something that it can't go unnoticed. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is asking for starting money. I don't think he'll get it, but if he does, prove himself a little bit there. Sam Darnold. Let's see if he can do it without Kenneth Walker. That is a big name out there in the NFC. See if Jackson Smith-Njigba is. I mean, he is definitely one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. But let's see if he can do it without Kenneth Walker. That just means more targets for him, and see if he can really be a true wide receiver down the field.
I got one for you. Kirk Cousins.
Ooh.
Because I think the smart move for the Raiders is to start him. And maybe the whole year. I know you took Fernando Mendoza number 1 overall, but I think you took him number 1 overall because by default he was the number 1 overall pick. I think he's talented, but I believe you have a veteran that you can start. You have the 5th year with Mendoza. So I believe, and Parker, if you want to weigh in on this as through your quarterback eyes, I think you sit Mendoza for at least the first half and you ride with Kirk Cousins. Yep. Well, but I think this could be that situation where, like, you knew, Alex Smith was going to start this first year, and then they were going to give the keys to the car to Mahomes. Like that, everybody pretty much knew that's what it was going to be. And then you trade Alex Smith off to Washington. I mean, Cousins signed wasn't it like a 5-year deal? But I think it was, there's outs and stuff. Yeah, probably. So I mean, it's a deal where they know they can move on. But you start him this year. I don't think it hurts anything. If things are really going bad halfway through and you think Mendoza's ready, then okay. But I think you have this scenario. And I hear what you said about Cam Ward last year. I still thought they should have signed a veteran and let Cam sit for a little bit. I'm just a firm. I've worked with Floyd. I work with Jeff Fisher. I'm just a real firm believer that I don't care where you pick a guy. Going from top-tier college football to the NFL is a huge jump. So if you have the opportunity to sit a guy for at least half a season, I mean, if Vince Young sits that whole year, is it a different story? Jake Locker sat. I mean, Mariota didn't. Does any of that matter? I just think sitting a guy, like if Steve McNair played right away, he doesn't have the career guys. I firmly believe that. Now, granted, it was a different time, but if you have the opportunity to let a guy sit and learn, I think it's a good thing. So that's what I think the Raiders should do.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
I think if they had signed, and I can't remember who all was out. Well, I mean, even if you play Willett or played Levis, but like I think you sign a veteran, start them, and let Cam have develop. They didn't do it. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Brandon Allen, no. Now, like, I know Titans fans are going to come at me on this, but like, if it had been this year, I probably would have felt better about Trubisky starting a few games than I would about Brandon Allen or like you said, Will Elvis. Yeah. But the difference is, last year you knew you probably were going to be bad. This year you're hoping to take steps forward, and all of that really hinges on Cam Ward. So if Cam Ward doesn't take steps forward, your team's probably not going to take steps forward. That's just usually how it works with the quarterback.
True.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, I mean, look, their hope needs to be that he has the same progression as Caleb Williams. Because Caleb Williams, you saw some good things in year one, but you knew, okay, here's a rookie that's learning, and you had a lame duck coaching staff. You bring in the right offensive coordinator / head coach that really develops Caleb Williams. Williams takes a huge step forward in year two. They win the division. They make the playoffs. Now he's in year three. Now he gets invited to the big boy table.
Yep.
That's what you need to hope with Cam Ward.
100%. And kind of cycling back to the original point of this conversation with the quarterbacks that need to prove themselves, Jordan Love had the same situation with Aaron Rodgers, his MVP year. I mean, you look at this and say, that's a guy you were able to learn behind. And I think that's something that you guys hit on with Cam Ward. He missed that opportunity.
615-737-1025 if you want to weigh in on that, or our question of the day, which is, what was your first jersey? We'll continue this discussion coming up next in hour number 3. Chase and Big Joe, 105 again.
Yeah, camera's back up and running. It's not a live wire 3. It defaults that. I think Parker might have to do it. Hey, Parker, can you go on the stream and go to the audio and go to live wire 3? If not, I can help you. It's the one issue.
Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday. Hope you're having a great day so far. 102.5 The Game and Bruschetta Bourbon present True American Racer, the Bobby Rahal story, tonight at the Franklin Theater. You can celebrate the career of an Indy 500 champion with rare footage and a live Q&A featuring racing legends. Just go to franklintheater.com to get your tickets for that event. That'll be really cool. Later on tonight with Bobby Rahal. I saw this right as we went to break, and I'm like, oh, I got to bring this up with the guys. So Barstool Gambling has put this out and says you can only watch one group for the rest of your life. What are you picking? Group 1, the World Cup, March Madness, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Masters. Group 2, the NFL playoffs, the college football playoff, the NBA playoffs, and Major League Baseball postseason. You can only watch one of those for the rest of your life. Which one would it be? Now, I would make the suggestion that I would not have had the NFL playoffs and the college football playoff in the same group. I'd probably swap that with March Madness, but that's just me. But these are the groups. So, Nick, which one? You can only watch one the rest of your life. Which one would it be?
And the second one included college football playoff. Is that correct?
Yeah. So Group 1 is the World Cup, March Madness, Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Masters. Group 2, NFL playoffs, college football playoff, NBA playoffs, and Major League Baseball postseason.
Oh, it's number 2, hands down.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm a big soccer fan. Don't get me wrong. No, football is king. I mean, playing football since I was in the 5th grade all the way up through high school, I have a huge affiliation to it. I got to go Group 2.
See, this isn't much of a debate for me either, because when you have the college football playoff and the NFL, that's easy. March Madness, though, is one of my favorite times of year. So that's what gave me a little bit of pause. Not a huge fan of the NBA playoffs, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But postseason baseball,
well,
that's in that group, right?
Yeah.
With the football, yeah, that's easy for me.
I'm going Group 2 as well. The one, I mean, it's hard to give up March Madness in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but like you said, football and baseball. I'm kind of with you, Parker, on the NBA playoffs. Like, if I could swap that for March Madness, I would take it.
Yeah,
but
that group would win every day of the week.
Yeah, but football is king.
Yeah.
You got to have football. But I laugh at, they do these on Barstool sometimes, and I like those questions. But I mean, man.
To be fair, the argument for Group 1, my brother and dad are big golfers. I follow along Scotty Scheffler's career, Tommy Fleetwood, Tom Kim, all the young rising, golfers, along with the vets already. I enjoy watching that. It's fantastic. As for the World Cup, I mean, yes, every 4 years it's a great tournament to watch. They're talking about expanding. I'm okay with that for the most part.
Again?
Nah, maybe. I feel like expanding it one more time would be the stamp on everything. That'd be it. Yeah. I couldn't see anything more than that. I thought they did a really good job this year with the product, but if I had to go World Cup, Masters, and March Madness, right? And is there one more in there or no? Just those three?
For what, Group 1?
Group 1.
Group 1 was the World Cup, March Madness, Stanley Cup playoff, and the Masters.
Stanley Cup, yeah. I think hockey's in a really good position right now.
I do too.
TV-wise, international hockey, they just know how to, hone in an audience that sometimes gets lost in the sauce for other sports. Like, prime example, baseball. We talked about it yesterday with the home run derby. The lowest viewership it's had since what,
5.3 million, 2003, I think is what it said.
That's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. If I were Major League Baseball, I understand you have your contract with Netflix. You also have a contract with NBC. You got to do something with that. Yeah. You didn't have Sunday Night Baseball before, the All-Star break. Might as well have the one and only home run derby on there as a simulcast.
Neil says Group 1, but only because of the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb says, leave the Masters alone, man. Don't make me choose not to watch that. Viking Matt says Group 2.
Yeah.
So I feel like Group 2 would win running away, but, with football. But, I mean, they're all great. That's the thing. Like, I would hate to give up anything out of that group. I mean, the one that I probably could live, if I'm – now here's a fun one. All right, if you were to rank all these, I mean, I'd probably say the NFL playoffs first, just because the drama. Then college football playoff. For me personally, Stanley Cup playoffs might be 3. March Madness, MLB postseason, the Masters, World Cup, NBA playoffs. Is probably how I would go.
Yeah, I think NBA playoffs is at the bottom for me. I think I would go for number 1. It would be, let's go college football,
Okay.
NFL, Stanley Cup. Well, not Stanley Cup. Let's go baseball, Major League Baseball, Stanley Cup, World Cup, March Madness at 6, and then Masters and NBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. How would you rank them, Parker?
Okay, so I'm gonna go now. I'm a college football first guy, but I'm a regular season guy. So when it comes to the playoffs, I feel like the NFL does have a better product.
Yeah.
Just because the NFL, the whole season builds up to the playoff.
Yeah.
But I feel like college football, the regular season is the meat and potatoes of the sport. So
I'd agree.
I'm actually gonna go March Madness at 1.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
I'm
There's
gonna go
an
March
argument.
Madness at 1. I'll go NFL playoffs at 2, college football playoff 3, MLB postseason 4, Masters 5, Stanley Cup playoff 6. What am I missing? NBA
World Cup.
Oh, I'll go World Cup at 7, NBA playoffs at 8.
Okay. So we all have the NBA playoffs last.
Yeah. Even though being a Knicks fan, not a diehard Knicks fan, but, they did win. It's just the product has gotten stale.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
really
because you have all the, you have all these super teams that, I know the Knicks kind of built that. So, that was, but in the stat that this is 8 straight different NBA champions or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 9 or.
Would you be okay with the NBA beginning in the spring and going through to I don't know, December? Just to have something on in the summer. It would compete with baseball. I think it would be a healthy competition.
Well, I've always felt that in the Olympics, that the Winter Olympics and the Summer Olympics should almost swap basketball and hockey, playing hockey in the off season. But that's a good question. Because it basically runs parallel to the NHL
right
now.
And I think if the NBA is trying to really expand their audience viewership, you look at European basketball that's done really well. You have players like Luka Doncic and a few others.
I would start the NBA Christmas Day.
It's fair.
I would start the NBA on Christmas Day. And make that theirs in the the season could end basically when it does now, or end of June. You could take it. I think hockey's probably fine where it is, especially if they're going to play 84 games. Baseball should end at Labor Day. NASCAR should end at Labor Day. Yeah. That's probably the big thing I would do.
I just see if
start college football. College football should end January 1.
Yeah.
The championship should be New Year's Day.
Amen.
I just think for the NBA's sake, what about having a 2-week or 3-week, 3 weeks a little too much, 2.5-week hiatus after the regular season, then start your playoff push?
You can't do that.
You just can't do
not
it.
for TVs.
I don't know. I just feel like it'd be a good
I think anytime
summer.
you have a break for something, people lose interest.
That's fair.
That's just my
Also, that's why I feel like the college football playoff, I know the numbers were good for the national championship last year, but if you think about it, Texas Tech went a month without playing when they played BYU in the Big 12 championship to when they played Oregon in the Peach Bowl or the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
They did not play for a month.
It shouldn't happen. You could do the schedule you're doing now or even expand the playoff. All you really would need to do is start mid-August, or even a week earlier, but get rid of week 0 and have that be the first week. And then, Labor Day weekend can still be a marquee weekend, then go all the way through. You get rid of the conference championship games because they're meaningless anyway, go into the playoff and then end January 1.
Could you keep conference championships and just start the playoff right after? That's what the NFL does.
You could, because I think one proposal that I think you're going to see at some point is, do you expand the playoff by making a play-in game for the conference championship? And basically the conference championships are a part of the playoff. That kind of that they're kind of like your conference tournament. Then you go into March
I
Madness.
was gonna say like a wild card game in some cases.
Sort of, yeah. But like if you had the top 4 of the SEC, essentially play in a mini tournament and then determine the SEC champion and then go into the playoff, like that's something I could see them doing. But here's the problem: like the SEC and the Big Ten, and really maybe the SEC, that's the only conference where you really need that.
Yeah, they will not give that up.
Yeah,
at least not willingly.
No,
Right.
No, a bit of what I'm saying is like the top 4 of the ACC. I mean, what'd you have last year? You had Duke.
Did you see their conference explainer for how they're going to figure out the championship this year?
The tiebreaker.
I was just as confused as last year reading that. It didn't clarify anything for me.
I don't know. I mean, look, I love conference championship games, especially because I'm an SEC fan and they were the first one. But I just don't think you need them anymore. I mean, because now, especially like a team like the SEC, you're going to get 5 or 6 teams into the playoff anyway. So, and is your SEC champion truly the best team in the SEC? The answer is probably no.
Yeah,
it's just because they beat up on each other.
Exactly. And you get rid of, the East and West. It's all one.
Like
now.
a 3-loss SEC team, rank that against a undefeated or 1-loss Big Ten, ACC, Big 12. I mean, to me, it's not even close.
No.
And yes, my SEC bias is showing, but I got data to back it up.
Well, that's why I think them going to 9 conference games is actually going to hurt.
I think
because there's a 9-3 team out there somewhere that is going to be better than an 11-1. I don't know, Penn State, maybe an 11-1.
And they're not going to get in.
Yeah.
Yep, you're 100% right.
But they didn't expand the playoff,
which
is the reason the SEC moved to that.
Right. The argument is going. You're going to get the argument from the anti-SEC people of, well, they haven't won the championship, which okay, but I can also make the argument that they've cannibalized each other.
Very true. Like looking at the SEC right now, like I am in the I guess small minority of Georgia going undefeated this year at 12-0. I mean, looking at their SEC schedule, they have Arkansas, Oklahoma, Vandy, Alabama, Auburn. After the bye, they take on Florida, then Ole Miss, Mizzou, and South Carolina. Like that to me is a very favorable SEC schedule. Whereas,
so let's see, they're going to start off 2-0, Tennessee or TSU, Western Kentucky. So that's 2-0 at Arkansas, 3-0. I don't know what Oklahoma is. I mean, and I think that's a who's the coach?
Venables.
I mean, this is prove it or leave town.
Also has John Mateer, so hopefully a healthy John Mateer.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll say that's a win, but who knows? Vanderbilt probably a win. At Alabama, that's a toss-up game. I think Auburn win, Florida probably a win
after the bye.
At Ole Miss, who knows? Are they? I mean, a lot of people think Chambliss is a legit Heisman candidate.
I just think it's the revenge from the playoffs. That's kind of what I think of it.
I don't know if I can fully agree with you that they'll go 12-0. Okay. I think they have an opportunity to, but there's at least 2 games on there on the road that are not easy.
It's very true. I just think for me, like looking at the schedule, the momentum after, let's say, the first 5 games, the tough test is Alabama. Then you have I wouldn't say a cupcake against Auburn, but it's a favorable game for you going into the bye, coming back with some momentum. If you can get a win against Florida, I think they are in a great position against Ole Miss.
Agreed. 615-737-1025. Scott Borchetta going to join us at the bottom of the hour. More on this Friday, Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Show 102.5, the game here on this Friday. We'll have a little more racing talk. Scott Bruschetta, who's in the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway Hall of Fame. Gritty racer in his own right. We'll talk to Scott here in just a little bit about the Bruschetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix. Always enjoy that. I got to tell you, like, I'm fired up talking college football. So I'm glad we have stumbled into that. All right, Parker's looking something up, but he just came in during the break and said all 16 SEC teams are in the top 20 in strength of schedule. The Big Ten has only 3, and I've tasked him with figuring out who the other one is. So that is, but that's quite a stat.
I have it if you want to hear.
Who is it?
Michigan, Northwestern, and USC.
Those are the 3. Now then, who's
the top
the
20.
but who's the
Ohio State isn't in there? I thought Ohio State was like we might be looking at different services here.
So is it 4 Big Ten?
Because I saw Ohio State at 8. They have a pretty tough schedule this year.
Oh, then it's 4 Big Ten teams.
Okay, 4 Big Ten?
They're here
Okay.
at 8. Yeah.
I forget Northwestern's in the Big Ten too, so that's okay.
Is there new stadium finished, or are they working on that?
I don't know.
It's going to be done during the
It's
season,
not done yet.
Okay.
late October.
Gotcha.
Not
It's
done.
included in the new
They've
game,
been working on that thing for a while.
Good for them.
Well, I mean, they needed it. So.
Yeah.
So the 4 Big Ten teams are Ohio State, Michigan, Northwestern, and who was the other one? USC, which I forget they're in the Big Ten. So there you go. So it's Big Ten and SEC all in the top 20 of strength of schedule.
And Georgia is at number 20. So out of all SEC schools, they're number 20.
Well, I think that's because there's a couple of teams on their schedule that you're not really sure what they are yet. Alabama's one of them. I mean, I'd probably put Ole Miss,
Oklahoma, like you mentioned.
Oklahoma. You know, they're in there. So
even Georgia Tech to
Florida.
degree.
I mean, maybe Florida to
True.
an extent. Like, do they bounce? I mean, how quickly do they bounce back, or do they bounce back?
I feel like not having DJ Lagway on the roster as your quarterback anymore is just a breath of fresh air.
Where did he go?
Baylor.
Yeah.
Of all places, too. Sick 'em Bears. John McClain's place.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at a lot of the coaching hires this year. I mean, I think John Summerall is probably one of the more intriguing ones, especially in the SEC. You got media days next week. You'll hear from him. But like I'm looking at Florida going, and we said this about Billy Napier too, but you know, are you the guy that can bring this program back to where it should be?
Yeah, you could say the same thing about Auburn, I think, with Alex Golesh.
I'd agree with that.
That's another one that, you know, he brings in his quarterback as well. I mean, even John Summerall, you do make a good point for him. I mean, coming from Tulane, even Connor's team, Kentucky, Will Stein. I mean, coming from Oregon, they had a really good season last year. Those are the, I'd say, top 3, obviously, that are the big ones to point out there. I mean, obviously Pete Golding has something to prove because it wasn't really
it's his team.
Yeah, now it's
so
his team.
I would put him so new, you know, I know Lane Kiffin's at a new team, but new to the SEC as a head coach, Golesh, Stein, Summerall, Silverfield, Golding.
Yeah,
right?
you could add Golding that because he was already.
Yeah,
in,
well,
but
I mean, this
head
is his
coach.
first full year.
Yeah.
As a.
But yeah, those are all of them.
Yeah, I like them. I think all of them have, you know, something that they have, you know, can bring to the table. Like, I thought Silverfield did a really nice job at Memphis, you know, when he was there. So,
and it's not a lateral move. Like I've heard and read some things online of saying that, you know, going from Memphis to Arkansas was a lateral move for Arkansas in general. I don't think
going from the America into the SEC is not a lateral move.
No, I'm talking about for the fan base.
I know what they're saying, but like you're advancing from a mid-major conference to the best conference in football. That's not, to me, that's not even a lateral, a thought of being a lateral move.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you look at their quarterback situation at KJ Jackson, like promising quarterback, promising young guy. I mean, there are a lot of new names when it comes to just quarterbacks in the SEC as well. Like, as you mentioned with those top 4 or 5 head coaches, you have Sam Leavitt at LSU. Obviously, we didn't mention LSU, but Sam Leavitt, you know, fresh start LSU. you have obviously Gunnar Stockton returns. Aaron Philo at Florida.
Yeah. I don't know.
Forget how to pronounce his last name, but fresh start there. Byram Brown, like I mentioned before with Golish, brings his quarterback in with him. So it's going to be a fun season to watch across the SEC. Everywhere you go, like you mentioned earlier, Trinidad Chambliss, John Mateer returns to Oklahoma. I'm intrigued, though, with South Carolina, not because of the whole Shane Beamer storyline.
This is it for him.
Yeah, it's definitely it for him. But like Lenore Sellers was a Heisman, candidate preseason last year. Has he dropped off?
In my opinion, he should have transferred. I think. I think he's talented. Just can he stay healthy? So real quick, Blake Topmeyer, this was like 10 days ago, ranked all the SEC coaches. This was just his opinion. And I'm curious, if you guys agree. Kirby's number 1. Okay. I'm with you there. Sark at 2. I don't think I have too much of an argument on that. Kalen DeBoer at 3. Not sure there. Kiffin at 4. Josh Heupel at 5.
I got crucified by my own fan base, but I actually put Clark Lee above Josh Heupel.
I think you probably
you go
should.
10-2 at Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Well, guess where they have Clark Lee?
At 8? Was it at
9?
8? Oh my gosh, that's insane.
So Heupel at 5, Elko at 6, Drinkwitz at 7, Summerall at 8, Clark Lee at 9, Brent Venables 10, Golish 11, Pete Golding 12, Shane Beamer 13, Will Stein 14, Levy 15, and then Silverfield 16. Which with the new hires, I don't even know how you can fairly do that.
Yeah, if it were me and I had to make a ranking, I would put all the current SEC head coaches from last season in their own little tax bracket, then have all the new ones near the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And then you rank them off that. So 11 through what? 16?
Yeah.
How can you have DeBoer behind Sark? Because he beat Sark on his way to the national championship game in 23. Is that not taken into account?
That's true. But I think you have to look at what has DeBoer done at Alabama as opposed to what has Sark done at Texas.
I mean, they both do have a playoff appearance in the last few years.
True.
Texas missed a playoff last year. Under DeBoer in his first year, they missed a playoff at Alabama. I don't know. I would put DeBoer above Sark.
I mean, honestly,
2 and 3. Flip-flop them.
On this list, the only one that I can for sure say is absolutely true is Kirby at 1.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I'd
rest.
have Elko higher.
I'd have Elko higher.
I'd probably have Elko at 5.
Yeah. I mean, I would look, say what you want about him. I'd probably have, would you have Lane in the top 3? Personal feelings aside, everybody wants to do,
I'd probably have Lane at 4.
Okay, so he's at 4. He got Ole Miss to the playoff.
Yeah, I'd have Lane at 4.
There's something to be said for that.
To me, he's firmly a tier 2 coach in college football.
Okay.
It's fair. I'd put him in top 3. Like in the SEC, I'd put him top 3. I would probably go Kirby, and then after that would go Sarkisian, and then Kiffin at 3.
Okay. And then DeBoer?
Then DeBoer, yeah.
And then Elko?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go Elko at 5.
Yeah.
Interesting. We will talk to Scott Borchetta coming up next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday. We've been talking a lot about the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix coming up this weekend at the Nashville Super Speedway. Well, let's say hello to the Borchetta of that. Scott Borchetta joins us now. Scott, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. Always enjoy our conversations, and you being a race car driver yourself, you have to be excited about what's going to happen this weekend.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a great weekend, and seeing the Indy cars going over 200 miles an hour at Nashville Super Speedway, there's honestly nothing really like it. You've got to see it in person.
You drove out at the fairgrounds, and you've driven some pretty fast cars, but you ever go fast as an Indy car will go?
You know, at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, these cars will get up to 240 miles an hour. So no, I haven't driven at 240 miles an hour. I have done 200, but you know, to do what they're doing is, you know, you got to remember they're doing that with 32 of their other best friends all around them, inches away, and putting everything on the line.
Why is it important for you to be involved in such a cool event like this?
You know, it's part of our DNA. You know, we love Nashville. We love to bring big events to Nashville, and you know, it's also just, I've always been a racer. You know, the two things that have been constants in my life are racing and music. So, you know, to have this, to bring everything all together along with our spirit brands, it's really a culmination of everything we do from an entertainment perspective.
With everything you do and have done, Scott Borchetta is with us. What's kind of a regular day like for you these days?
Well, that's just it. There's no such thing as a regular day. When you're dealing with talent and you're dealing with, you know, just everything that's happening in our world and the way it happens so fast, you know, for the record side, you know, with social media, everything that affects everything that we do, you know, every day, if there's one constant, we're a student of the game every day.
Scott Borchetta is on the line with us. Scott, when it comes to the atmosphere this upcoming weekend, we had Anna on earlier, and she was talking about Deadmau5 being one of the performers. You have some World Cup atmosphere going on. Give us a little bit more about this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll have Indy next. I'm actually going to be on track myself with our vintage Indy cars, not at speed, but it's great to see all those old Indy cars taking laps. And if you're a fan, everybody loves seeing those old Mario Andretti, AJ Foyt cars, Rick Mears, etc. I'll be driving my 1958 Curtis Craft that ran at the Indy 550 and finished third. And then there's Indy Next, which is the feeder series. So all the next champions are in that series. And then, you know, we've also got the Backbeat Troubadours, who are Billy Bob Thornton and Mark Colley, you know, the Landman boys. And they're going to be performing in Victory Lane pre-race, because we'll go live on FS1 at 3:30 p.m. And they're going to perform their song that's in the Bobby Rahal documentary, True American Racer. So that will be live. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. In the viewing party, we are the official FIFA viewing party. So we have giant screens out there. They're building a pub as we speak. There's a soccer field. So if you're a World Cup fan, you're not going to miss any of the finale. We'll have that blasting as well. So we're really trying to make sure that everybody who comes just has a fantastic day.
Scott Borchetta is with us. The Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix coming up this weekend at the Nashville Super Speedway. You know, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, but I know you had a good relationship with Kyle Busch, and obviously we lost him earlier this summer. I mean, his impact on NASCAR is going to be felt forever, but what was his impact on you?
You know, Kyle was always a call it as you see it kind of guy. And, you know, it could be argued that we're both kind of polarizing characters. And we always got along great. You know, we were a sponsor of his, and, you know, he was really a lot of fun. And, you know, it's really interesting now for the people, even who were the Kyle Busch haters, they all miss him. And to seeing every race now where everybody's honoring what a great talent he is, you know, he took all that stuff very personally. You know, while he had a tough exterior, it's like, man, all I want to do is my best. Every time I get in the race car, I want to win. And that mentality took him to more wins in NASCAR than perhaps anybody will ever achieve. You know, it was across 3 series, He won more races than Richard Petty. And, he was a great family man. Samantha's wonderful. And it's a great loss. You always hate to see somebody, the way we lost him is just terrible. And at 41 years old, it's one of those things that's not ever going to make sense, but I'm glad you brought it up, and it's always good to say his name and honor him.
Well, and you're a short track racer. I mean, you race anything you can, and so did he. And now to watch Brexton, his son kind of come up through the ranks. I mean, that has to make you feel even better to kind of see his legacy live on through his son.
Yeah, it looks like Brexton has all the right stuff, and Samantha is going to continue, and the entire racing community, not just NASCAR, everybody's going to lift them up and make sure that we fill in as much as we can. There's nothing that can replace your dad, but everybody's sure going to try to make sure that Samantha feels all the support for both of her kids and just the whole community. But yeah, it looks like he's got all the talent. I'm also, we lost Dan Weldon 15 years ago, and we were a sponsor of his, and we've been a lifelong sponsor of his two boys, Sebastian and Oliver, and they're now in open wheel racing and racing in Europe, racing here, and they look like they're future champions. So we always want to take care of those kids,
How have things been going on the racing side in NASCAR in the now O'Reilly series for you guys?
We've had a little bit of a tougher season. I have a rookie driver this year, and the good news is each race he's getting a little bit better. These guys, until you go do it, you don't know how hard it is. You're like, oh, okay, well, I race these guys. I got this. I can do this. And you get out there, it's like, oh, there's another level. And so, we had a really strong finish last week, finished 13th. And, Patrick Starpoli is our driver. And like I said, his dedication is there. And it's a constant communication when you're learning these tracks at these speeds and, who you're racing with. And it's a very aggressive series, man. Those guys are elbows out. So it's not for the wary. You've got to be next level and really want it. And there's no time where you get to rest in those races. You've got to be up on the wheel and kicking butt.
Well, and I agree. It's some of the best racing you'll see as well. I've had the opportunity to be in the PA booth for the NASCAR weekend at the Nashville Super Speedway with your old buddy Joe Williams, who told me to tell you hello.
Love Joe.
We love Saturdays because we get to see the O'Reilly guys, like you said, elbows out.
Yep. And that's how we ran at Nashville Fairgrounds too. Joe got to see a lot of me with elbows out.
Oh, I know. I've heard the stories for sure, and that's why you're in the Hall of Fame. Scott, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I know it's going to be a great weekend at the Nashville Super Speedway. Enjoy it, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Scott Borchetta from Borchetta Bourbon and Big Machine, and in Big Machine Racing, the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix. And again, if you just know him from music, look up his racing career because he was a hell of a race car driver and did a lot of that out at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
I'm just learning of all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me during the break a little bit, but now I'm starting to look him up a little bit more about his racing career. It's crazy.
It was the first or second year of the Grand Prix. I got to MC an event, and it was a lunch and everything downtown with the sports council and stuff. And I got to sit at a table and eat lunch with Scott Borchetta, Joseph Newgarden, and Vince Neil of Motley Crue. And I'm sitting there going, what the hell am I doing here? I'm just listening.
You have a pen in your back pocket. Just sign right here on this line.
Right.
Just pass it around the table.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it was really cool. But a pleasure to have Scott on, and obviously going to be a great weekend at the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix. In fact, I am told by Mr. Lance Mackey that we can give away a pair of VIP tickets to the Grand Prix. So the first caller, and Parker, just write down their name, email, and number, and we'll get that information. But a pair of tickets VIP to the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix in the weekend RPM Club, which is climate controlled, stadium style outdoor seating, pit lane views, all inclusive food and beverage. You got a restroom, garage pass, all that premium parking, I mean, it's the best. So the first caller, we'll hook you up with that. We'll come back with what day is it, and one more time we will do where are they now, because we've had a lot of fun with this. Birthdays will return Monday, but we'll do where are they now. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Couple of Ella fellas here. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. This is old school.
You can't even tell it's her. Really.
Yeah, no.
She doesn't sound the same. She doesn't have the raspiness in her voice.
It's on that same album though, of like Paint the Town Blue.
Yes,
It's
it
the same
is.
one.
Yeah. This is Excuse the Mess.
You are truly an Ella fella.
Well,
and that's okay.
I got friends that have played in her band, so
Okay.
that's kind of try to
Name dropper.
I
over
know,
here.
right? Shout out to my buddy JP.
Appreciate Scott Borchetta for joining us in the last segment. That was fun. We have had a lot of fun with playing your game that you hear Saturday mornings on Weekend Huddle. I believe DVD is going to do it this afternoon and play Where Are They Now?
It'll be fun.
Which again is right up the alley of Willie Donick.
So the idea of it came from the brain here, but Jake Lyman came up with the point system, and Connor Newt came up with everything else, and that's the whole idea of like the points don't matter, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah, no, this is just kind of fun
But then
to do.
once Connor and I kind of did the weekend show, like this is our thing. We're rolling with it.
Yeah, roll with it. Keep
And
it.
also the Titans, by the way, they're using Where Are They Now? We're just letting you know, royalties. All right,
Okay.
royalties.
Yeah, good luck with that. With that, let's get to what day is it, and then where are they now?
All right. First on the list, we have National Peach Ice Cream Day. It's around that season. National Tattoo Day. World Day for International Justice. Wrong Way Corrigan Day. And Yellow Pigs Day. I don't know if I'm going to eat, pork from a yellow pig. That doesn't sound right. And then last, but definitely not least, World Emoji Day.
World Emoji Day.
Might use the pig emoji for that.
Okay.
What's your favorite emoji?
That's a good question. I'm thinking maybe I like the cake one, and you could put it with like confetti. I think that's a good one. Like instead of wishing somebody happy birthday, I just do cakes and candles.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like that.
All right. Are we ready for Where Are They Now?
Not entirely, but I'll give it a go.
Have you played this yet?
I've played this twice, and both times I've lost in epic fashion.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. Who's going first?
I'll break the
Yeah,
ice.
you go first.
Why not? All right, here we go. Went to Virginia Tech, was drafted in the 1998 NFL draft in the 4th round by the Oakland Raiders, followed by the Tennessee Titans in his career, and then wrapped up with the Dallas Cowboys.
So would have played in the first Music City Bowl in 98. Virginia Tech versus Alabama at Vanderbilt. So drafted by the Raiders?
Correct.
Then here.
Correct.
Then Dallas. Raiders.
Kind of short-lived for his entire career. He was done playing in 2004.
Parker, you know?
In this, yeah, I'm stumped.
I'll give a little bit more
I'm
context.
stumped back here.
Offensive lineman.
Okay.
Is it like a really well-known?
Sort of. Spent 1 season with the Raiders and spent 2 seasons with the Tennessee Titans, followed by 1 season with the Dallas Cowboys. Played 39 games in his NFL career and only started 27. Probably won't get it. It was just great.
Yeah, I'm not getting
Kevin Long.
Gennaro DiNapoli.
Gennaro DiNapoli. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay.
A little deep track pull.
I know the name, but going way back.
Yeah.
All right. Parker, you want to go?
Sure.
You got
I pull one up.
Give me
one
I
sec.
got,
Give me 1 sec.
I got it. All right. Baseball. Florida Marlins, San Diego Padres, Oakland Athletics, Atlanta Braves, Boston Red Sox, Chicago White Sox, Milwaukee Brewers, back to the Padres. Marlins, Padres, A's, Braves, Red Sox, White Sox, Brewers, Padres.
Outfielder?
Outfield and first base.
Oh. Marlins, Padres. I'm trying to think. Marlins. This is probably like what, 2001?
Yeah, late 90s all the way to the mid or the early 2010s.
Okay.
And there's a big hint I can give you, but that might give it away.
Yeah. Marlins, Padres. Oh, why am I drawing a blank on any like Marlins players?
Well, most people do that.
It's very true. Let's go. You have to give me a little hint. Is he?
He is a current Major League Baseball manager.
Oh, okay. Marlins, Padres. Why am I drawing a blank?
Well,
there's more.
You're focused on the wrong teams.
Yeah. Let's go. All right, so there's Milwaukee in there. White Sox. Let's go.
A's.
No, it's not Steven.
This is all you, Frazier.
I'm trying to
All
think.
you, man.
Let's see. There was Gary Sheffield back in the day. I'm drawing a blank, man. I know I'm gonna kick myself when I hear the name.
The current manager of the Athletics, Mark Kotze.
Mark. Come on, Mark. I just played for 9 million teams, man. Mark.
He played from 97 to 2013.
Golly.
And now he's the manager of the A's.
That
I thought that was going to be a tough one, but I want to know if Willie got it.
Oh, I feel like Willie sits in the parking lot and just listens to this.
Probably.
24/7.
Probably. All right, Parker, you got one?
Yes, I do. Okay, so this guy also played at Virginia Tech. His career with the Hokies ended in 2016. He was a 7th-round draft pick in 2017. He was drafted by the Miami Dolphins, played for them from 2017 to 2020, played for the Patriots briefly in 2020, was on the practice squad for the Dolphins in 2020 to 2021, then wrapped up his career with the Colts and Bears, also both on the practice squad. Pretty well-known player when he played in college.
Virginia Tech?
Virginia Tech. This would have been towards the tail end of Beamer's career.
Defense?
Offense.
Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech.
Trying to just get a list of names here. I'm going to go with.
He was first team All ACC in 2015, second team All ACC in 2016.
Okay. And you said this offensive player.
Offensive player. If it makes it any easier, he was a skill player.
Let's go.
I know. I'm thinking like a receiver or something.
Cam Phillips? No. Yes, no, Parker? Yeah. No, not him. Okay. Isaiah Ford?
Ding, ding, ding. How
Isaiah?
about it?
There we go.
All right.
Just give me a little couple
There
cracks
we
at the
go.
bat.
There you go. That's a good one. All
I
right.
like that.
I got a football one
All
before
right.
we get out of here for you. Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets, Cincinnati Bengals, Tennessee Titans. Steelers, Jets, Bengals, Titans.
And this is. Ooh. Is it Eric Decker? No.
It is not Eric Decker.
He played for the Jets at one point, right? But he also played for the Dolphins. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steelers, Jets, Bengals, Titans.
Steelers, Jets, Bengals, Titans. It's an offensive lineman, isn't it?
It is not.
Oh.
It is
You have an
offense. It is offense.
Receiver?
It's quarterback.
Oh, my gosh.
Clipboard Jesus?
Nope. Neil O'Donnell.
Oh, Neil. Yeah. Now
Before your
your
your time.
That makes sense though. Like Steelers, yeah, obviously.
Neil O'Donnell. Yep. Steelers went to the Super Bowl with the Steelers. Jets signed that big deal. Bengals for a year. Then Steve McNair is back up for the rest of his career with the Titans. That is going to do it for us. Had fun this week. Big Joe is back on Monday. I'll be out for a few days, so you'll
It was
be
fun
with him.
hosting this.
Yeah,
week,
it was
man.
a lot of fun with you. And again, you can go to unitycares.com/Big Joe. We want you here. We need you here. If you need to talk to somebody, they are perfect. You can also reach out to us and talk to us because it's the summer and maybe you're feeling down, reach out to them because we need you here. We want you here, and we love you, and God loves you. That is going to do it for us. Peace, love, rock and roll. For Nick, for Parker, I'm Chase. DVD coming your way next on 102.5 The Game.